Yo, what is up, everybody? I hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday evening. Getting started a little bit late here. Usually I like to start around 5 o'clock, but don't trust when sometimes your GPS tells you, hey, there's an accident up ahead. Save 23 minutes by going this way. And then you go this way, and all of a sudden, there's an accident up ahead. You are delayed 32 minutes. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's one thing I do. I get road rage very easily. So if there's one thing I need to go to counseling for, it would definitely be road rage. Cause oh my god, it just. Ugh. Anyways, make it 3 days in a row now that I've had a rough start to every single upload. This whole week. Let's see what happened on Monday. See, my memory can't even go that far back. Something happened on Monday. I can't even remember what happened. Oh, wait. Yeah, the video. So what I decided to do was in my, videos now, I'll center myself with the black screen in the background just to give him more of a, I don't know, a better look. I guess I could add some graphics or whatever to the green screen behind me here, but you know, okay, I'm always wearing black. It's just my thing. So, um, yeah. Then I recorded like a whole video. I think like half an hour. No, it was a video about the shooters in L.A. And I was halfway through it, and so I paused it real quick because I thought, did I put it back, to scale? And sure as shooting, nope, didn't. So that was like on. That could have been Sunday, so maybe it's 4 days running now. Well, anyways, just now I went out to look for a brand new 10-foot USB uh, to C because I haven't bought an XLR cord or the little components you need to run my mic off of yet. And I'm waiting till I upgrade my computer and all that. And I changed it out last night to a white one, but the white one was way too short and like really was tugging on everything. So I have my glasses of grapefruit juice, orange juice, and all that. And as I'm like freaking putting it in there, like I'm running the cords along uh, the arm, the boom arm and all that. And I look over and the USB C is dipped inside my grapefruit juice. I'm like, oh my gosh, can this day get any worse? And it did, but the second part, we'll just leave uh, at that. But what's so cool is when I started this channel, I concentrated on an artist. His name's Alejandro Aranda, but his stage name, which is quite creative and self-explanatory, is Scary Pool Party. He went to go perform at this party, and it was a scary pool party. And he's a funny type of dude. He likes lowriders with hydraulics, and you always catch him wearing a beanie. I need to bust out my beanie somewhere. I don't know. I haven't been able to find it forever. That's why I've been wearing the white hat. But I started off with his music, and that's how I got like my first couple hundred followers. And most of my videos that have the most views are of him. I mean, and he'll say it himself. He, I wish I found an artist like him when I was working in the industry, because you don't see very many artists as effing talented as he is and be so damn humble. I mean, I me as a person, like I'm a really humble person, But there were even moments where I had to check myself when I was in the industry. Like I've mentioned it many times on here, and in a lot of I might come across like if I'm joking, but I'm really not. Like being a fat ass really does kind of like it's body dysmorphia is the clinical name for it. I never went to go see a doctor or psychiatrist about it or anything. And funny enough, the girl who was just so in love with me and could have had any guy she wanted, she really could have. She had like several Bronco players that were, and like these athletes, usually could pull any chick they want, and she still wanted to, like, she would like go out with him, but I knew like she was completely faithful to me. And like I don't know, like for some reason, like just when you love somebody else, your heart's elsewhere. And stupid decision at the end, like she ended up finding out like 13 years later that a former Bronco player that she had been with for all this time, she ends up moving out of the continental U.S. to a very beautiful part of the U.S. and I like point like west, literally west. And I mean, she was Russian slash Afghanistan, and that doesn't fly in Russia or Afghanistan. So they came here, and her sister, her older sister by a year. I shit you not. Um, I thought I like she came. She ended up going to the school, the public school that I ended up going to after I got kicked out of the private school because I couldn't play football because of the back injury. And she intimidated all the guys. I mean, even the I mean, she intimidated everybody, and I'm like, there's no way in hell I stand a chance. So I just, would talk to her, just like, hey, how you liking it, or whatever. She wasn't a partier. I don't think her parents really wanted her to get into that type of scene, as a teenager. So she really didn't go to parties or stuff like that. And I was constantly partying every single weekend. It was like I couldn't stand to stay home on a Friday, Saturday night, even if there was a fucking blizzard outside. I was like, okay, well, still going out somewhere. Funplex used to be a place here in Colorado. We're gonna go to Funplex. We'll go drunk, whatever. Stupid shit. And the point I'm getting to about this artist is this because we share two similarities. Um, I remember just from talking to her and all that, she just, like I said, I didn't think I stood a chance. And she just developed the biggest crush on me ever. And she looked past what I couldn't look past. She looked past, how fat I was. And like I said later on, girlfriends tell me like, "Oh yeah, there were girls that liked you, um, but you always had a crush on so and so." And I'm like, "The fuck didn't you guys tell me?" Like, And then one of my lifelong girlfriends was like, "Oh, I had a crush on you too, and I was so pissed off when so and so asked you out to Sadie Hawkins dance. Didn't that tell you enough that another girl asked you out to Sadie Hawkins dance?" I'm like, "That's what they're supposed to do." And I'm sure somebody was like, "Oh, poor Cisco. We don't want him to see him going long." She's like, "No, there was a lot of girls planning on asking you out, but you had your eyes on one girl." I'm like, "Okay, sorry, whatever. I didn't know, but it would have been nice to have known. Maybe that confidence would have followed me in adulthood." But when I started, her and I had lost a little bit of touch. Like she was like my first love and everything. And I don't know if I was hers, but like first love and all that stuff. And a little bit after high school is when we started getting a little bit more like serious. And I remember um, my boy who married my cousin, he used to work at this place called Aqua Golf. And I used to be huge into golf, and we all were. And man, we'd be there till like 2 in the morning. Place closed at 9 or 10 o'clock. We'd keep a few of the lights on, just working on our game. And I remember one time he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be working tonight." I think the guy's name was Taylor. He's like, "Taylor will be there though." I'm like, "Okay, well, me and her and her sister, and I'm gonna invite one of my friends. I don't know if it'll be a double date or what, but just to make it equal. I don't want her sister to feel like a third wheel or anything." And so we decided to go play mini golf there. And anybody who was there before they redid it, the city uh, of Denver took over it and modified it to how they like it. They didn't even put yardage markers out there, which sucks. They put yardage markers out there, I'd be totally stoked. I'd be there all the time again. But anyways, where we park and we're walking along, and as we're walking elevated because all the hitters are down here, and as we're walking along, little by little, you start hearing every golf club stopping as we make our way to the. It used to be like this little house, where you get rent the clubs, get the balls and all that. They didn't have a ball machine at that time, so they had to put the balls in the basket and all that. And every single golf club stopped swinging. I mean, that's a kind of attention that her and her sister usually got, but they were fucking extremely humble. I mean, they never ever once acted. I mean, for Christ's sake, she was in love with me. She wanted to get married, at 18, and I was so scared. And I fucked up when I was in my 20s with her when I had told her, and right before I got in the music industry, I'm like, you could have any guy you want. Why do you want me? And she's like, you really think that I would hurt you like that? And I'm like, I didn't say yes, but I said, if I don't have that confidence in myself, what makes you me think that you know, might get sick of this or something? Of course I want to change and feel better about myself, but how can I feel better if I'm like this? Like, how can I be like that with you? And that was that. She went on to become a doctor, psychologist. Yeah. So the love of my life, that one person that God puts in our path that says, you know what? I love this person for who they are, not for what they look like. And after that, I never seen her again. I had gotten in touch with her, and that didn't go so well. Um, and then, well, I got in touch with her a few years ago. That didn't go so well. But prior to that, when I was in the music industry and everything, we didn't keep contact because after that, that's when she got serious with the Bronco player, and he got traded. And then I think she stayed here when he got traded. But then when he moved back to where he was from and what college he played at, then she went with him and all that. And I'm shocked that they never had gotten married or had kids or anything. But like a lot of dumbasses, he cheated on her, and here I was, the one with the fear that she would cheat on me. But we all learned that lesson. Where the humbleness kicked in was, here I lose all this weight. What started the music career, what started the acting, what started. And when you say modeling, it's not saying, I'm out there looking like an Ashton Kutcher or whatever model you can think of, guy wise. No, you're just a model. You're modeling for this particular thing, and it was a national magazine. And remember when they're saying, "Hey, you're tall, dark, and handsome," and I mean, like me, like that was the first time like anybody had ever said that. So then all of a sudden, I start gaining this confidence that was more cocky than humble. And like the second most beautiful girl that I think I ever like dated and went out with, like I totally approached her in a cocky way, and it wasn't me whatsoever. I mean, I was drunk, but when I was sober, she saw how I really was, and that's a part of me that she liked. And I remember a little bit after her and I split up, sitting there and saying, "This isn't me. Why am I acting like this?" It takes a lot of strong people to be humble from beginning to end. And this young man, everything that he's been through, every time he interviews, every time he plays, every time he sings, it's like he's his own worst critic in the same way that I was about being chubby. Let this being more of a motivational video than anything when I introduce you to him, or when you, excuse me, when you see him again. He, from the very get go, throughout his career that has been short, not short lived, but it has just started, he has been just humble beyond belief. You don't hear negative shit about him anywhere in the news. And MTV News has interviewed him along with other artists like Michelle Branch, Vanessa Carlton, freaking I don't know a lot of the people that are out nowadays. Like I said, like it takes a lot to get my attention, of music. But a lot of these big artists that are out, I know, MTV has their YouTube channel where they talk to these artists, and you should just hear him talk. Like he's just the most laid back, chill person. And growing up, I always used to think, oh yeah, that's definitely me. But no, there were so many factors that changed for me because all of a sudden now I'm in the music industry. I thought I was the shit. And after about 6 months, and after realizing here, I broke the heart of the only woman that ever loved me for who I was, on the outside. Every woman that had loved me afterward had seen me for, you know, having lost weight, being called handsome by other people. And I'm not suggesting I'm handsome. I'm just saying from when people have said that to me, um, you know, uh, it was just like, oh, now all of a sudden I'm acting like Mr. Big Shot, and I remember that moment very clearly because it was around the time I stopped drinking, and I'm like, it's not the alcohol that does it, but it is this overall environment that I'm in that people want to reach out to you because you have access to this, you have access to that. They want to be around that. And what they don't realize is the artists that they're rushing are the ones that are having to come to us to find out if they're still going to be signed to us, if they're still, if we're allotting them this, if we're, allotting them that. Now, of course, when you give them a contract, that's quite different. But, you know, what are you going to provide for them on tour? Are you going to give them a badass stage bus? Are you going to give them private jet? What are you going to do? You know? So, if people are drawn to celebrity, we all see that. Look at the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Everybody's drawn to that. But to remain completely humble is one of the hardest things. And I applaud this young man. Only being, I think he's like 25, 26 now. And that's around the time that I was like, I need to humble myself. Because it hit me. And after that, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna act like this anymore. You know, God put me in this position for a reason, and I'm gonna make the most of it. And if I could go back in time and have changed things with the one woman that loved me for who I was, of course I would. Who wouldn't? But all that being said, it is a motivational story, a personal story of myself that I just felt like reflects in his attitude, and I want you guys to see how he presents himself, and is very just, he's just an awesome guy all the way around. So let me pull it up. And here he is, Alejandro Aranda, A.K.A. Scary Pool Party, his stage name.
Yo, my name is Alejandro Aranda, and I got runner-up on American Idol in 2019. And I get a lot of comments like this, like, where is he now? What's his progress? Does anybody know what he's up to? Where is he at? So since the show, I put out 3 albums. First album's called Exit Form. This was all of my first demos that I ever made and produced. This is Doom Hologram. Everything but Return to Sender on this album I recorded through my MacBook microphone and wanted to do a little experiment during COVID, and this is my COVID album. And this is The Act of Forgiveness. It's 21 tracks mixed by Manny Marroquin. I did all the strings at Capitol Records, and I did it with Rob Mathis, and if you want to, check it out. And since the show, I've been on tours, and I've been playing music, recording music constantly, and I've been going by Scary Pool Party. So a lot of you might know me from this.
How's everything going? Just chill.
So I was really tired during this part of the taping. I didn't sleep the day before, and when I did this, I probably waited about 8 hours before I actually performed this part of the show. And during this time of the show, I really, till this day too, I still don't really think I'm that great of a singer, but I think I've adapted towards playing music and singing now. I'm more comfortable in my skin, but during this time period of playing music, I was really intimidated still, because American Idol, like, there's so many great singers, and I was like, I'm not a singer. So after the show, I continued to tour, and I continued to work really hard, and I found myself in a low spot. I found myself in a really different spot mentally than what I'm used to. Eventually, I worked my way up to performing and being comfortable being on stage and playing my own music and stuff like that. And I just wanted to reach out on here and just show face and show you guys exactly what I've been up to, and it's been absolutely great. There's been a lot of ups and downs, but I feel like for my own self and my own music and artistry, I'm trying to really, especially with the name Scary Pool Party, I'm trying to really make a world where you can make any kind of music you want and be comfortable with it. But that's what I've been up to, though. I've been just making music still and trying to really push myself and producing more and touring more and making more of an artistic approach to everything that I do. So I just wanted to come out on TikTok and just say thank you to everyone that supports my music and supported me through the years. And thank you, American Idol, and thank you to everyone that's watched this journey that I'm on, and I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a good one.
He is just like the type of son I hope I have one day. He is the type of person that I hope my daughter would be just grateful for the opportunities that he's been given. And here's the video that started it all. This is one of my first videos, and I'll go ahead and play it in case you've never heard of it or heard of him. But I want you to keep in mind that I did have one subscriber say, I like it. I like him. And that's awesome, because if I could turn, one person into a fan of his music, then that's sweet. So give it a listen. This is when I was a lot more analytical about music, because that's how I start off my channel. Then I just was like, you know what, just ease back and just enjoy it for what it is. So here's his first performance. And for him to think that he wasn't a singer, this dude on piano is crazy good. This dude on guitar even had countryman Luke Bryant saying, I have never seen anybody do what you just did with the guitar. And what do country guys love to do? They play guitar. So here we go. All right, let's get right here. All right, guys, I'm trying to fiddle around with some different camera angles here. Kind of got tired of looking at my double chin all day long. So, anyways, so I have a
fast
funny
forward through
story
all
that
my
I want to
talking.
get to. For some reason, because when it was there. So, and today I get you got him of other actors.
I know
I'll
if I
let you
play
know
his
more
American
about his
Idol
7 to
one,
10
well,
business
maybe
days
this
from
one
now.
might
Now,
play through.
I literally
Oh no, it's a reaction.
came this close to writing back. Are you sure? Exactly. Something feet in front of me. Do here.
Tell us who you are, where you're from, the thing going.
Much handed it to him on a tee. So
How's everything going?
Oh, you didn't hear what he says.
and kill
funny.
it. That's what I think I'm going to try to do. So, anyways, without further ado, here is the song that started it all for me.
All right. What's up?
What's up, homies?
Still the greatest intro ever, and I think next time I go to my next audition, I'm gonna use that if it's set up just right like this. I mean, they pretty much handed it to him on a tee. So
How's everything going?
Just chill.
So tell us who you are, where you're from, your credentials, man.
My name's Alejandro.
Alejandro.
And I grew up just like every other kid, but I was homeschooled. Picked up music later in life. Started to play out in the street.
Really? So you talked.
one thing I wanted to say as well is, his likability comes from him just being so freaking humble. We have to go preached, and he kind of still, he just sings this and Idol, and
I mean, how did you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Self.
by far.
Taught yourself how to sing? I mean, how did you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Self-taught the whole thing.
It's the whole thing, yeah.
Wow.
I was always been like super nervous about singing, so I played out in the street and pushed myself. I play piano too, and
Wow.
yeah, it's been pretty cool.
Loving it.
Yeah, man.
What are you gonna play for us?
It's an original I wrote. It's called Out Loud.
Out loud.
Yeah, it's about how I really didn't
That could have been played on the radio right then and there.
tell the truth when I was younger, and later on in life, it took me a while to really speak the truth.
Very good.
Watch how he finger picks, and look at how he uses his middle finger as a type of percussion.
Hold me closer to your fantasy. I can try to be the one you love and need. I'm feeling sort of like a burden. I feel it in my heart. Are you letting go of me now? I see the words across her face now.
Of course, it doesn't take a genius to, when he's doing this, make the guitar, he puts some playing that. It
Saving,
boggles my mind every time I watch him play this.
saving my last breath for you. Broken hearts molded to hurt. Ooh, oh, it's hard to breathe in, breathe out now. Ooh, oh, it's hard to say the truth out loud. I see the words across her face now, saving my last breath for you. Broken hearts molded to
What I was trying to do is I purposely rewound it so they could see this part, because American Idol was just not going to let me post the whole thing the way I wanted.
the proof. Ooh, oh, it's hard to breathe in, breathe out now. Ooh, oh, it's hard to say the truth out loud. Out loud now, yeah, out.
Right at 2:06, when the camera pans to them. I mean, it doesn't take a
body linguist to figure out what's going on. But you know, there's certain factors, like people say, if you're crossing your arms like this, you're self-comforting because it's something that you don't understand or something unexpected. Same thing when you're playing with your hands or not making eye contact and looking away. Each and every one of them are doing that. They're just like in complete awe, and they're all comforting mechanisms because they're just like, what in the world? I mean, right then and there, they're like, okay, we're not going to have you in this competition. You're just going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and sign you.
And that's what they
said.
said behind the scenes.
It's just funny though when you see them. It's hilarious.
Out loud now, yeah. Out loud now, yeah. Out loud.
That was the greatest, man.
Thanks, homie.
That,
Thanks, man.
this is gonna be the greatest. This is gonna be the greatest show. Another level of idol here, boy. You, my friend, are so talented. I am so inspired. That was the greatest, man.
Thanks, homie.
That.
Thanks, man.
This is gonna be the greatest. This is gonna be the greatest show. Another level of idol here, boy. You, my friend, are so talented. I am so inspired.
Thanks.
I just want to hear a piano song just because I want to hear him play the piano.
So during, I cut it out, but you know, he was telling them that he was self-taught, that he taught himself how to play the guitar, taught himself how to play the piano as well. Some things that, let's see if I'm missing anything so far that I wanted to add to this. Nothing that I could think of at the moment, but I'm pretty sure something will strike me.
Is that okay?
I haven't played in a minute, but I'll.
You want to try it?
Yeah, that's
Okay, I'll go for it. This guy is unfreaking believable.
That's what I was going to say. So he said runner up. Not to a lot of people. There were many people who said he won. Of course, the conspiracies come out that, oh, you know, there was a problem with the voting system that night, and they didn't tally up all the numbers correctly. He actually even came out too, and it wasn't a sore loser thing because he had actually tried to quit the show several times, like on the down low. Like, he was happy that he was progressing, but they had to keep on, like, you know, producers and all that had to keep on talking to him, like, you know, stay in it, just because, like he said, you know, he's like, I'm not a singer, you know, and he kept on getting, you know, advanced to all these rounds, and, you know, he was shocked. And, you know, they asked him on one point, you know, behind the scenes, like, what are some of his irrational fears? And a lot of his irrational fears, and this was before he made it as far as he did, had to do a lot with what he experienced throughout the show. And this is, mind you, before all the shit that he's going through. And anyways, if you go back and if you look at the night when they announced the winner of that season, I've never watched any American Idol show from start to finish. I only watched every clip of him. And I didn't even know who had won at that point. I thought he was a winner because all of his auditions and everything were in the millions. Everybody else was like, you know, hundreds of thousands. So I'm like, oh, this dude is off the chart. He set the record for American Idol for having the most original songs sung. And then on top of that, when they announce the winner, you know, Ryan Seacrest announces the winner. If it's just me, then it's just me maybe reading into it. But I swear, it looks like even Ryan Seacrest is like, are you fucking kidding me? Like he's shocked. So take it as you will. Go look that up. It looks like that to me.
You know, the craziest thing, too. I don't know how many of you guys were or are Lionel Richie fans, but You know, here he started with the Commodores. Then he goes on to do his own, you know, single. And just one of the legends in the game. But what just shocked me about this, and I was pretty young when it happened, but he had so much clout in the industry that if you ever go back and watch We Are the World, that whole, I guess, that whole setup was orchestrated by him.
Mm-hmm.
You had Michael Jackson, Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, Billy Idol, I believe.
Almost
You
everybody.
had so many of the stars that actually got up, took their time, sang "We Are the World" for Ethiopia during the time where I'm sure it's still like that now. I don't know, but you know, for food relief, and you know, here he's telling you how inspired he is, how much he wants to hear you play the piano. I mean, that right there in itself is just mind-boggling to me that this legend would do that. And yeah, I mean, I remember the first time I had seen this, even I was like, damn. You know, he goes up there and gives him a hug, tells him how inspired he is. You know what? If your biggest idol, whether it be music or movies, just whatever, your biggest idol tells you something like that, I mean, that is a lot to.
And after the fact, I wanted to start seeing anything if there was any behind the scenes stuff, and I did find a few here and there. And when he walks out, Alejandro walks out, he's Lionel Richie standing up. Luke Bryan is like spread across the table, and Katy Perry's getting down, grabbing some lunch. And he's like, "Did you all just witness that?" And one of the producers is standing right there. He's like, "That was like a religious experience, my God." And they start clapping, like, you know, all the producers, you know, Lionel Richie, Luke Bryan, Katy Perry, they all start clapping again. And mind you, he's out of the room. He got his gold ticket. He's, you know, on his way. You know, he's nowhere near. And he's like, you know, he's like, then he starts walking, and he's like walking towards like Luke Bryan. He's like, you know, that reminds me of like the first time I heard Michael Jackson. And I'm like, holy shit. And he says, you know, there's me and Stevie Wonder, and Stevie's just getting down on the piano, and in comes this kid, Michael Jackson, and he just starts singing, and they're just, you know, getting down. He's like, that is exactly how I felt when I listened to him play. Could you imagine living up to that? I mean, I was like shocked. And you know what? I like him as much as Michael Jackson. Of course, Michael Jackson changed the world with the way he did things. With, you know, there's never going to be another one like him. But musically, he is a prodigy. This kid,
and that would just, I was saying, you know, get ready for when Alejandro sang "Sorry," which, truth be told, wasn't his best. He saved himself. The catalog, amazing to me.
I just want to hear a piano song just because I want to hear him play the piano. Is that okay?
I haven't played in a minute, but
You want to try it?
Yeah, try
Okay,
it.
I'll go for it. This guy is unfreaking believable.
and he called out American Idol because he said, "Man, it wasn't a real piano. It was a keyboard."
I don't know if you can relate to me. My body hurts every night she's away. I'm losing myself in her memories. She's drifting away with each step we take. So please don't go away. I'm begging you to stay. Be the center of my eye to recognize. It's up to you to choose, or I'll leave it up to you. Tonight, girl, I just want your body. Do you know? Every day I wanted something more. Oh, yeah. Tonight I'm gonna rock your
Right about there, Katy
world.
Perry's like, she really is. She's like
Thank you very much, man.
shocked.
You are no joke. You are no kidding around.
I mean, I just feel like I'm in the presence of greatness. I've just never seen somebody do what you just did with a guitar. I mean, I'm in the presence of greatness. I have nothing to tell you other than I am so glad you are here.
Oh, please.
I've just never seen anything like that. It has totally rocked my world. It was like watching my favorite movie that I did not want to end.
Very true.
It was like the first time I saw Forrest Gump. I didn't want it to end.
Yeah.
Alejandro, do you think you're the next American Idol?
I don't know. There's a lot of good singers, and there's a lot of amazing talent.
Why do you think you're special?
I don't really think I'm special. I think I'm just hardworking.
What kind of artist do you want to be like? Who's your hero?
Trent Reznor, Chopin, and Bach.
So, I think I had mentioned I used to be 330 pounds and played football. And because of that, I got to go to a private school. And it was predominantly Caucasian. My brother was Caucasian. You know, no problem with that. I always had kind of went to inner city schools until, you know, there's a certain point that, you know,
I'm making a
my
point
mom
here
started making
because
money and this and that.
I would have never
But they
known
let
about
me
Nine
attend
Inch
this prep
Nails.
school. So as long as I played football for them. And I had no idea who Trent Reznor or Nine Inch Nails was, who Korn was, who a lot of these, you know, names now. And so when he's
Rage Against the
I remember
Machine.
my friends always jamming out to Nine Inch Nails, and I just really couldn't get it. I couldn't grasp onto
Yeah, I
it. And
couldn't.
even though rock, alternate rock is my genre of music,
Punk.
just for some reason it just didn't resonate with me. So when he said that, I'm like, what does he incorporate that's like similar to Trent Reznor?
And he does in
then
his
I
albums.
Found out the more I started doing reaction videos to him and his other songs that weren't on American Idol, and I could see why now he would say Trent Reznor, and of course, you know, the piano, you know, his idols for the piano. I mean, they're great. But yeah, I remember first time hearing this, I was like, Trent Reznor?
Okay, Alejandro, I think you're the winner.
He was.
Thanks.
I think you're really special. I think you're an absolute genius.
Thank you.
I don't even want to see anybody after him.
We're the lucky ones. We're the lucky ones because the universe chose this time to bring you in front of America. You have such a career. And the fact that you don't know it makes it even more special.
Still gives me goosebumps.
There's nothing like you, my friend.
I will not sleep
I
until
know.
I watch him perform again.
I know.
Stay humble.
Let's do it.
You're going to Hollywood, my friend. Come pick this up.
Oh, here's the behind the scenes that I put on there.
You see you in Hollywood. You see you in Hollywood.
It doesn't show the whole thing where he compares it to Michael Jackson.
Yo, I see that through the glass. Come here, man. Congratulations, bro.
Did you all see that, or was that just my imagination? Did you all witness that?
Look at that. After he's gone.
I don't know what that was, but that was a religious experience.
You didn't sleep last night, then maybe you should take a little rest. Let the homies know about the golden ticket. Hey, nice to meet you, brother. Congratulations, Alejandro. I like that smile. Show him that smile. Look at that smile. Y'all, that is overwhelmingly amazing. Wow. That's the best thing I've ever witnessed.
Everybody's a no.
That's exactly right.
Big go to say, we should just sign him right now.
See you, buddy.
Yeah, this ticket's great. It makes me feel really happy.
That is so awesome because you got to see how humble he really is, and that is just, that's awesome. And I know this video turned out a lot longer than what I intended, but wanted to share a personal
what's up, everybody?
experience and, you know, how being humble saved me, and him being humble is gonna go a long ways. So thank you guys for, you know, watching this. I really do appreciate it. And go and show him some love because he's an amazing artist. So thank you guys, as always. Peace.